Hello everybody, in today's Mustard Tree creative session we're going to be looking at the artist and sculptor Kimmy Cantrell. Here are some examples of Cantrell's abstracted face sculptures which we're going to use as inspiration to make some abstracted face collages. To follow along with this one at home you're going to need a mixture of coloured paper including a larger piece for the background, and then whichever materials you'd like to use to decorate this paper. So I'm going to use both crayons and paint, but you could use one or the other. You'll also need some scissors and some glue. So as I mentioned, the first step is to decorate the coloured paper. I'm going to start off by using my crayons, but as I said, it's entirely up to you how you do this. Kimmy Cantrell's work is really bold in its use of colour, shape and texture, so the point of this step is to try and emulate this feeling in 2D. I'm covering each sheet of paper in a different pattern which will help bring depth and variety to the finished collage. Just have fun with this stage. It's really quite liberating to just fill a page with whatever you like, whether it's stripes, zigzags, circles, polka dots, wiggles, scribbles or anything else you can think of. Now I'm moving on to my paints and just doing more of the same, filling the page with patterns. I chose to use crayons and acrylic paints in this project based on my own preference, but you could really use any materials here, whether it's felt tips, coloured pencils or inks, anything that's colourful will work, so it's all down to your personal preference and whatever you have access to. Now that I've made plenty of patterns that I'm happy with, I'm going to set these aside to dry before I move on to the collage stage of the project. This stage is simply just cutting out the shapes of a face and facial features for your collage. I'm basing my collage off Kimmy Cantrell's work, so I'm trying to use a lot of the shapes that I've identified in his sculptures. But if you wanted to make this your own, you could use this technique to make a portrait of a celebrity, friend or family member, or even make a self-portrait. I definitely recommend starting cutting out your larger pieces first, so that's the face or head shape and any hair, and then working upwards into the finer details. Cantrell tends to use oversimplified and oversized stylized features in his portrait, so that's what I'm doing here too. I'm just carrying on adding small details inspired by Cantrell's style until I'm happy with how my overall face looks. Then at this point I'll use my Pritt stick to secure down each piece. So that's my finished abstracted face collage. As always, if you followed along at home, then I'd love to see what you've come up with.